Welcome to BodyWork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWork Boxing. Let's talk about the moment of truth. I've been sitting back thinking about this fight, analyzing this fight, listening to a lot of people talking about this fight. I've been asking myself, well, why are they saying this? Why are they pushing that? Do they have an agenda? Are they really talking about the X's and O's? Are they speaking from emotion, vested interest? All of these things. And you have people out here that'll break down, the dimensions. They're not that far off. You'll have people talking about their attributes. Maybe they're not that far off, even though people do give Tank the edge and explosiveness. I give him the edge and explosiveness. I do give him the better feet. I do give him versatility. I give him, hands down, he gets that, right? But I ask myself, what do you get when you match up a gorilla and a ghost? We don't know. That's the obvious answer. I do know that the stakes are very high, and contrary to popular belief, a lot of people will have you to believe that Tank fights nothing but bums and that Frank the Ghost Martin is overrated and he's not worthy. Whatever narrative they come up with. What I do know is that they're two southpaws. Most of the time, two southpaws, it really comes down to who has the better lead hand. I would couple that with the better feet. So whoever has the better lead hand, I would say that. In this one, we don't know because Tank does have that equalizer. Even though we have seen Frank have one-punch knockout power. Is he known for it? We know that Tank, with either hand upstairs or downstairs, can end it in one shot. We know that we've seen Frank do it. We don't know about either hand upstairs or downstairs, but he does have knockout power. He is classified as a knockout artist. Frank Martin goes to the body. I think that is going to be a very big key for Frank Martin going up against Gervonta tankdavis. He has to go to his body. If he doesn't have any success in going to Tank's body, I'm not sure how long the fight is going to last. I'm not going to make a round stoppage prediction or anything like that, even though this may not be my last take on this fight. But I can say that Frank Martin must commit to going to Tank's body. However, there are dangers when you go to the body. You are exposed up top when you go to the body. I look at the dimensions. I'm trying to figure out whether or not, Frank can go in any direction, in the fight. I want to see if he'll be able to handle the different angles and the nuances that Tank put on him. And a lot of people, are putting a lot of weight on Tank's shoulders. They don't give him the credit for how good he is. Some people don't even have him on the pound for pound list. But they want to see him up there with the big names. Beforehand, they were saying that he always cherry picking. Frank Martin is not a cherry pick. By any means, by any stretch of the imagination, he's really not. He can compete. People get off about age, but a lot of people play that game sometimes when you talk about age, only when it comes to certain fighters. This fight is going to come down to the better lead hand and who's more technically sound. I think it's going to be who's more technically sound, who's going to take calculated risks, who's more accurate, and who can make the better adjustments. Stakes are high for Tank. I'm learning that somebody said that he hasn't been with Floyd under Floyd regime since 2022. So that's when he broke loose. Seen another young fighter talking about it, and they went over the timeline, and I thought about it, and I said, So I started thinking about the fights that we've gotten, and I'm like, not bad. Not bad for doing your own thing. You jumping out on your own, under your own banner, and doing your own thing. Not bad. This is not a pick. This is not, everybody's not just beating down the door trying to fight Frank Martin. A lot of people wanted to see Frank Martin versus Shakur. We know that Shakur and Tank is the Cold War. People perceive them two as the best, the elite, the creme de la creme of the 135 division. It just is what it is. Frank Martin is going to be in there for a fight. And I was thinking, how can Frank win? I think one of the things that he's done is he's taken two approaches into going into this fight. One, he tried to, at first, he tried to get him riled up. He tried to really get him riled up. He was saying things, and I was like, man, that's probably not the way you want to do it, because then you kind of got to, if there is a way, kind of got to try to rock Tank to sleep. Not get him all riled up, get him on high alert and all that, going into, because everybody knows, man, it's the saying, like, man, once you get pissed off, blah, blah, blah. Que sera. Good night, Irene. However, the recent interview where we finally get to see Errol Spence, one of the more recent times, I think it was like maybe two or three outings since he got in the ring with Fundora that we actually seen and heard from Errol Spence. And Errol Spence's take on this fight could play a big part in this fight. Why? For any stretch of the imagination, Tank and Errol Spence were boys at one point in time. I think even Tank was backing him in the Bud fight. They've been boys for years. They've been cool for years. And this, my friends, might be the small little peephole that Frank Martin is looking through to try to get up under Tank's skin. It's one thing when somebody is emotionally charged about something. Did he get under Tank's skin with that? Hearing Earl say that, saying, you my man, I know that's your fighter, but you my man, we was, you know what I'm saying? We was cool. We understand business is business, but if Tank goes in there emotional, thinking that, oh yeah, I'm gonna show, he probably is thinking, okay, I'm gonna show Earl. He pretty much said, you gonna get your guy up. He pretty much said that. However, if it really bothers him that they're not cool, could that be an emotional edge? Is that a mind game that Frank is playing? Could this backfire on the Ghost? I'm thinking it might. Because it's one thing to say, okay, it's just business, it's just you not like that, I'm gonna smoke you. But it's another thing to say, okay, cool, you turned against me too? Okay, I'm gonna show you. And since you've been under the pressure, under the big bright lights, you weathered the storms. People are calling you the face of boxing. You're used to all of that. Now you have the fuel. You have the motivation. You kind of have something to prove. Now, can that backfire on Tank? Trying to show and prove and this, not letting the game come to him. We know he's a very patient fighter. We know that he's an extremely good counterpuncher. We know that he downloads and transmits and computes data in real time and reacts. And if he see you hurt, it's over. He's a predator. Fight is getting very interesting. It's going to be the moment of truth. Everybody's saying they never seen Tank against the slick black fighter, even though I kind of discount that. Not sure how you never seen him against a slick black fighter when he comes from the streets of Baltimore. A lot of people are interpreting Frank's workout into meaning this or meaning that, and they're looking at this and they're looking at that. I'm looking at the skill set, I'm looking at the emotions, and I'm looking at the fact that both of these guys are facing their moment of truth. I pretty much believe Tank is who he say he is. I believe that Frank Martin is a worthy opponent. I just think that until I see somebody that can make Tank look vulnerable enough and be able to, put him in some situations to where we haven't seen him make adjustments and level up, I gotta ride with Tank. It's nothing personal against Frank. And let's be frank. Everybody that Tank Davis has faced, even in their defeat here recently, Let's talk about names. They've gone on to do big and better things. They've gone on to win titles. Ice like Pitbull Cruz, Rolly Romero. How long-lived it will be, we've seen Rolly Romero's reign end kind of abruptly. We've also seen what Ryan Garcia done, and had it not been for the controversy surrounding that between the weight and then the things that was in the system and all that, he could have been another champion. Either way, I think it's a good fight, a southpaw showdown, and we are going to see the moment of truth. Who's really the truth? And will there be a man down? Let me know in the comment section what you think about this fight. Let me know what you think about the outcome. You know, are you looking at the X's and O's, or are you buying into the narrative? Because at the end of the day, they got to get in the ring. We've seen some crazy things happen. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.